Hey, I'm Mike,
Hey, I'm Chris.
and this is Mike and Chris Reloaded.
Officially.
Officially, we just did a live feed,
We did.
so if you're bored, check it out.
We promoted our new swag.
Swag, merchandise, and they're gonna get tired of hearing me say that, but oh, what a world, what a world, what a world. I love Spaceballs, man. It's like an iconic movie to me. I'll never forget that movie.
Mike and Chris Reloaded. The shirt. Mike and Chris Reloaded. The hat. Mike and Chris Reloaded. The flamethrower. Maybe one day.
Maybe. But this week we are going to give you a couple movie reviews.
Yeah, we're going to keep it short and sweet. This is what we call a filler episode.
This is
In case you guys didn't know.
we got a lot of shit going on, so we still watch movies and shit, so we kind of can talk about them
And shit.
and shit. Yeah. So you get the point. We're gonna review Wonder Woman and Kong Skull Island.
Yes, even though Kong Skull Island came out a couple of months ago, but it was still a really good movie.
Well, I
Thought it
wanted.
was anyway.
It was my idea to talk about Kong Skull Island, so I'll take the problem of it being what's the word, relevant. But in my opinion, we have to talk about the Destroy All Monsters portion, which we'll get into later. But first, we're gonna start off with
Wonder Woman.
Wonder Woman.
Which we I ended up seeing over the weekend, and Mike did also.
Yep.
Of course, I saw it in IMAX 3D. Mike saw it in 1D.
I saw it in 1D. That's where I don't puke. Because I don't know. Nah, I've seen a couple 3D movies with you now, and I haven't thrown up. So
You watched Doctor Strange in 3D with me,
yep,
and
Doctor Strange.
that
That
would have
one.
probably made me puke. But it didn't do
Yeah,
nothing to
the
you.
whole running on the buildings and the map flipping, the screen flipping. I was feeling a little queasy. I was feeling it, but I didn't
We're
go
watching
nowhere.
Spider-Man in 3D, so.
I know. And you said you're buying everybody's tickets, so I'm just kidding.
I don't know who he's talking to.
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. But Wonder
But
Woman was
back to
a
DC, yes.
yeah. DC was a Warner Brothers flick.
You know, did you see the intro to this thing? How they changed everything? It used to be just like they'd flip over and show the DC image. Now it's like showing all the people like they did the Marvel. Not Marvel
Oh
does.
yeah, I did see that.
They're not competing with Marvel, are they?
Well, this movie did surprisingly well. It's as of Sunday morning, it had grossed 223 million globally.
Domestically, over the release, 100.5 million, which
Yeah.
is the largest release. It's the record for the largest release for a woman director.
Who the director was? Patty Jenkins from the movie Monster. Have you ever seen
Which is
that
a
movie?
very good movie.
That's a good movie.
So she's got two good credits to her name. Both movies about pretty much strong women, I guess
Yeah,
out there.
yeah.
But
And they did pretty good. I love Gal Gadot. Was it Gal Gadot?
Gal Gadot, yes.
Gal Gadot. I want to say Gail.
No, Gal
I
Gadot.
know
She's
it's
actually
Gal.
Israeli.
Is she? She's hot.
She is smoking hot.
When Chris Pine was telling her to put her clothes back on, put her jacket back on, I was like, no, take that shit off. Walk around in Wonder Woman suit. Give a crap. But anyway, starred Gal Gadot, Chris Pine, David Thewlis, I think is how you pronounce his name. I'm not sure, but you were telling me he's the
Professor
character.
Lupin from Harry Potter.
Yeah. I knew he was from Harry Potter. I just couldn't. It's been so long since I watched Harry Potter, I couldn't put my finger on it.
Um, yeah, basically the story of Wonder Woman. If anyone doesn't know anything about Wonder Woman or DC or anything like that, she's was a princess raised in Themyscira, um, daughter of what is her name? I can never remember her mom's name.
You got me.
It's like Itecles or something. I don't know. I don't remember her name. Anyway, she was created, molded out of clay, and given life to by Zeus. So she's basically essentially a god.
Yes.
So
She's God, and it gives it the whole backstory about her finding out that she is a god killer.
later on,
Yeah, later on, designed to kill the god Ares, who does a whole intro story where it talks about God created man, and then man started fighting, so God created the Amazonian the women, to give love into the man's heart to stop fighting, and it stopped fighting, and then Ares came in and put fight back in him,
yeah.
per se. So I think I got that right. Did I get that right?
Pretty much the gist of it. Basically, Ares, god of war, wherever he went, people grew hatred and warlike with him, and so the Amazons were there to counteract Ares. Ares didn't like it the way the gods did it, so he fought off all the gods, tried to kill them all, until they finally struck him down and injured him, and until he was gone for whatever. But then Zeus, with his dying breath, gave the Amazons you know some weapons and stuff to fight him should he ever return. But the story this story was set up really well. I think that they were able to tell the entire story without watching the entire story.
Right.
They gave you in segments and this stuff, and they put everything together pretty good to where you knew everything what was going on.
Right. The only problem I have with this movie is I did over the weekend listen to some YouTube videos about the creation of the Amazonian women
Hmm.
and stuff. And this movie, takes place in World War I, and it's the island is invaded by a bunch of Nazis from World War I, and it shows the Amazonian women. Using bow and arrow and stuff and trying to fight them off. And they weren't. I mean, they were successful, but they were struggling with it. And in the comic book, they're supposed to be more technologically advanced
And
than
there's
where they
different
were.
there's different there's different I guess generations of it, you can call it.
Yeah.
You know, I actually, before I went and watched this one, which I knew I was going to watch it, I actually watched the animated Wonder Woman movie that just come out. They just released.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and that one was like, today's time. It was like 2018. So like when you know Trevor was it Trevor
I
her
don't know
love
his name.
interest Trevor
Steve Trevor.
Steve Trevor, when he
Yeah.
crash landed, he was actually in like an F-18 jet.
Oh, okay.
And then in the animated one, Wonder Woman had her invisible flying jet, which was a big thing, back in the Wonder Woman series and this and that. So it was more technologically advanced, but it was the same story, you know, goddess fighting god, you got Ares coming back, this and that, blah blah
Yeah.
blah.
And they threw Doctor Poison in there. Is that what her name is? Doctor
That's what
Poison.
they called her as a nickname in there, yeah.
Yeah.
But
She was badass.
but it was essentially the same story. They just this one they just I think they had to do it because of the whole Justice League or the Batman versus Superman, where they found the picture of her way back when, and this and
Yeah.
that. So they needed to create a
Well, I think they
backstory for
set that
this.
up. So
Yeah. Oh yeah. 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 My thing is like obviously when you're in Themyscira, which is where the Amazons live,
okay.
it's a hidden island. Um, they don't age. They don't do whatever. They just they continue to grow. I mean, they do age a little bit, but not near like we would here.
Right.
So if she does that in Themyscira, I mean, I guess does it because I guess technically she's
Well,
a god, so she wouldn't age.
I would say they show that she doesn't age because they show the beginning of the movie starts off with her in some kind of office setting, library or something like
Yeah,
that.
she got all the weapons from
Yeah,
the
it shows her present day, and then she starts talking in her head about how this origin story happened,
yeah,
and then it finishes back to her in present day. So
yeah, with a little Batman cameo.
yeah, with a little
Well,
Batman.
not really Batman, but his Wayne Enterprises cameo.
Yeah,
But but that's what I'm saying. I guess technically, if she's a god or a goddess or
she
whatever,
won't
she won't
age.
age.
Yeah, no, she'll
So
stay the same age forever.
yeah, so which is
And,
which is pretty smoking hot. I'm not gonna lie.
and here, a huge spoiler, but I also think the scene where Steve Trevor goes in the plane and sacrifices his life for love. I think there's about a million other ways he could have blown that plane up.
I would have like I don't know, man. I could have like maybe took a grenade with me or something, and
Yeah.
like grabbed a parachute on the way out and tossed it or
Well, the
something.
funny part is when he was leaning back to shoot, he took the guy out of the seat and took the guy out of the seat where it was flying the plane, and the guy had a backpack strapped to his back.
Well, I mean, he didn't sacrifice for love. He just told him he loved her,
Well, yeah,
and he showed her love. Is
right.
basically, she'd never really experienced that kind of.
I just thought
He
it was all.
sacrificed himself for the good of the country. He didn't want, and that when the thing blew up, it was a pretty big explosion,
Yeah,
man.
it
So
was a
I don't
hell
know.
of an.
Even so, I don't know if he would have got away, even if he did jump out of the plane or whatever. So
I guess I don't know, but overall, this movie gives me good hopes for Justice League. It
it does. Zack Snyder. I guess
produces.
he
He
produced
produced
it.
it.
He
Yeah, yeah.
produced it. Yeah.
Patty Jenkins is
You could
directing.
always tell Zack Snyder's involvement because he always does that slow motion
Hmm.
fight scenes. He's all John Wooish with it.
Yep.
But yeah, it was good. And I know Zack Snyder is also producing the Justice League movie, also, isn't he?
Yes, he is.
So we will see what happens. Justice League will come out this November,
Yes,
around
November.
the same time as a
November
little
25th, I think.
around the same time little Thor Ragnarok comes out. So
Yep.
it's going to be competing with Thor Ragnarok, which is looking pretty good too.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, so Wonder Woman actually is. I'm gonna say it, this is the first DC movie in this decade that I actually thoroughly enjoyed at the movie theater.
Yeah, I'll go with you on that. It was probably the best DC movie I've seen to date.
Yeah, I mean, it was. I mean, some people say I haven't seen the extended editions of Suicide Squad or Batman versus Superman, the director's cuts. I haven't seen those, but I did see the theater version of them, and I wasn't impressed with those two movies. This one, I'm freaking impressed.
Yes, it was really good. Like I said, it was a good origin story. It gave you everything you needed without dragging it out for two or three movies. It showed you it had a very very good supporting cast in it. It showed you Gal Gadot. I think kind of nailed it
Hot.
in her naiveness to the world.
Yeah,
She just, didn't really know what was going on in the world. You got to figure this woman's been living in this island with basically sticks and stones, and then you come to this world, which is around what 19 at the end of the World War, First World War, so about 1918, 1920,
yeah,
nineteen
somewhere in there.
nineteen,
I
or
don't know.
1920.
You're asking me a history question.
Or 1921 or something like that. So yeah, it's way in the early 1900s. So, even though it's still way back, with nothing modern, it's still modern to her. So, but yeah, it's
That was actually funny when she walks in there and Chris Pine was giving his secretary orders, and Gal Gadot looks at Chris Pine and says something along the lines of, "And you just do his bidding?" And she's like, "Yes, I'm a secretary." And she says, "Back on my island, they call that a slave." Like,
yeah.
yeah. So it was funny. Little humor in there with her transition, but IMDb they gave this an 8.3 out of 10, and I have to agree with their rating
I
on that.
believe IGN gave it a 7.9 out of 10. So
Yeah,
IGN's pretty critical on movies too. So
yes, I agree. Out of a 10 scale, this would fit right around an eight in my opinion.
yeah, I would say right between eight,
I
eight and
mean,
a
it didn't.
half.
Yeah, it didn't blow my socks off. I wasn't like, but I mean, for the only reason I say I'm excited about it is because I love DC, and this is this is a good movie. And I don't read comic books, so I do listen to comic books thanks to Dane showing me the link of people that read comic books to me.
Thanks, Dane.
So I mean, I am gaining some comic book knowledge, but most of my knowledge comes from TV and movies. So, which isn't the greatest place to absorb information from, as far as the universe. But
Ah well.
screw it. What can you do? Let's get on to Kong Skull Island.
Kong Skull Island.
Older movie came out. Came out a few months ago. It's got Tom Hiddleston as Captain James. I can't remember his last name,
I don't remember. He's a
but
former British SAS agent
yeah, Brie Larson, another hot.
who actually will be in another comic book movie. Brie Larson is slated to play Captain Marvel, Carol
Yes,
Danvers.
yeah,
So,
Carol Danvers. Samuel L. Jackson.
who we all know is in other Marvel
Get
movies.
those snakes off my mother. That's all I'll say. I won't say the F word.
No, he's don't forget Nick Fury.
Nick Fury, yes. Yeah. John Goodman,
Hmm.
which is good. I haven't seen John Goodman in movies
And
recently.
you won't see him after this movie in any of those either.
Really? Well, they kill him off,
Yeah.
but I'm just saying. I mean, as far as acting roles, he's kind of drying up.
No, I think he's at the point now where he can kind of pick and choose his roles now. So,
Gotcha. Well,
and
he did pretty good.
he was in the 10 Cloverfield Lane,
Yeah. Oh yeah, I forgot
so
about that. You're right.
which I have not seen, but I heard was really good. So,
And it's got John C. Riley.
oh, I loved him. I love me some John C. Riley.
He's pretty funny. That's pretty much one of the only no old school. I forgot about that. What is that? Step Brothers? Is that what they're called?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the only Will Ferrell movies I like. Otherwise, Will Ferrell can go blow himself somewhere.
Yeah, but I've John C. Riley. I mean, he's in everything. Everything he's in seems like it's pretty funny.
Yep.
So, and I've seen him in some serious roles too.
And I have too actually. Yeah.
What was the vampires? What's the vampire's assistant or something? The vampires something.
I don't remember that movie to be honest. I
That
didn't
was a
see
pretty
that
good
one.
movie. It was, and then he was also in Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah, he was in Guardians.
So yeah, he's been some pretty good roles, but I loved him in this role.
Yeah, director Jordan Vogt Roberts.
Hmm.
Vogt, VOGT,
Vote,
Vogt,
vote,
Vogt,
vote,
Vogt.
vote, vote,
Um,
vote, vote.
Vogt.
Jordan Roberts.
Yeah, Jordan Roberts, who is actually the director who's slated to do Metal Gear
Oh, nice.
movie. So he's working on that project. Otherwise, he's a pretty unknown director. But
This one took a different twist on it on the original Kong.
yeah, it did.
Um, this one, in the original, if everyone's ever seen or read or done anything, the original King Kong, basically you had these people out. They found an island, go in there. They had a film crew go there. They wanted to film everything on the island. You know, they had the actress on there they were going to film some scenes for her and this and that. You know, come on, they get on there. All of a sudden, there's King Kong on there. There's everything's just big and weird and giant dinosaurs and everything of that nature. They find King Kong. They want to capture him, bring him back. The 10th wonder of the world. Blah 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 blah.
Climbs the Empire State Building.
Yep.
Whoa.
'Twas beauty that killed the beast.
Yeah.
But anyway, this one's a little bit different. They find this island. They got John Goodman. This is based in the late 70s, mid to late 70s,
Yeah,
end of the Vietnam War.
Yeah, it's right at the end of the Vietnam War, so 76, 77, somewhere in there.
Yeah, so they go to this island. They find off the beaten path to find something because John Goodman
had located a storm cell that surrounded an island that no man has ever stepped foot on ever before, and he wants the U.S. to be the first one there because there could be cures to diseases they don't know about and all this shit.
But he has an ulterior motive, though.
Yes, he does.
So we're trying not to spoil it too much for you. But they get there. First thing they find, obviously.
Yeah. Big, what the hell were they? Oh, yeah. I forgot.
The very first thing they find was Kong.
Kong, yeah, that's right. Okay, they were dropping bombs.
Well, the bombs they were supposedly dropping were depth charges to depth to map the grounds.
Right, my brain just completely farted.
They're depth charges to map the grounds, how they
Right.
were, how deep they went, what was underneath them.
But later they say it was really to flush him out. They already knew he was there.
Yeah, which is where the ulterior motive with whole Kong comes
right.
in. Or John Goodman's character, I mean.
Yeah, so.
But, yeah, they do that, and, I mean, he's in it the first, 15, 20 minutes of the movie. He pops in right there. Yeah. He's there. So, and he takes them all out, and then once they're on the ground, that's when the real terror begins. So, I mean, they find all kinds of stuff.
Kong isn't what you need to be afraid of. They call them skull crawlers.
Yeah.
Skull crawlers is what they need to be feared of.
Kong is actually the protector of the island, so he's there to protect all the people. There's actually a whole tribe of people there, but he's there to protect people from all these creatures. It's good. I mean, all the fascinating creatures they bring are pretty neat. the way they do Kong is pretty neat.
Where he eats a giant squid. That was
Yeah,
pretty cool.
it's like you see him. You see aspects of him that you don't normally would see on any other movie. It's like Kong pops up, grabs woman, runs off. Kong pops up, fights creature, runs off. But
Yeah.
here you see him where he's injured. He's trying to heal his wounds. He's hungry, so he finds him something to eat. Just different aspects of it you don't see.
Yeah, see, this is where we're gonna differentiate because I did not like Kong Skull Island. I looked at it as a shittier Jurassic Park movie. That's there's the
Welcome
whole thing they were
to
going with, in
Jurassic
my
Park.
opinion. Yeah, that's the whole thing they were going like Jurassic Park. Ooh, there's this island where big shit lives. Hey, I was like, haven't I seen this movie plot somewhere before? Oh wait, yeah, probably like 6 times now. But yeah, that's what I thought. I mean, the battle with the giant skull crawler, that was awesome. I
Hey,
love that.
Samuel Jackson was in the original Jurassic Park.
Yes, he
Just saying.
was. Yeah. So I mean, that's my take on it. It was a shitty Jurassic Park movie.
I think it was a fresh take on it, and the reason why I think there was a fresh take on it is because of what they're setting it up for.
Yes.
They're basically setting it up for
Monsterverse.
yeah, Monster Island, Monsterverse, whatever you want to call it, destroy all monsters, uh, battle royale, anything. But I mean, in the end, you kind of find out that there's more than just Kong. There's other things out there that they're looking for, and it's going to build up to, you know, Kong and Godzilla and Mothra and King Ghidorah and Rodan.
Right, and they've showed Godzilla in this universe and now King Kong in this universe.
And a lot of people have speculated, like, well, King Kong ain't that big. He's what, 100 feet high or something,
Yeah.
whatever, 75 feet high. And the new Godzilla they created was like 300, 300 stories high. How's he going to compete with that? How's he going to compete with that? What the hell? Well, they gave you reference in this. John C. Riley, when his character has been on the island, he was in World War Two.
World War Two, yeah.
Yeah, he had crash landed on the island and had been there for like 40 years or 30 years or something.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, because it was a Japanese guy who was stuck on the island with.
yeah. So they gave reference to it about how Kong was there and he was basically a teenager. So he's still going to grow.
Yeah, all the big Kongs have
His
been
parents
killed.
and stuff have been killed.
Already.
So he's the last protector of the island. So, you'll see. I like the way they're setting up the story. The story itself didn't. I mean, the main movie itself didn't really have no meaning. It was just like someone there found an island, getting off the island. That's it.
Yeah.
And I get what you're saying. It had no meaning, but the whole back line of it is they're actually setting it up for
Right, and
the other movie.
that's going to be cool. I mean, they're setting up. There's even the Pacific Rim. Is that what they're talking about?
Yeah, they're talking about putting those in there too. Actually,
yeah, put the Pacific Rim guys in the whole Monsterverse thing. So it'll be interesting to see where it goes. But like I said, as a standalone movie, I wasn't impressed. Sorry.
I thought it was decent. As a standalone movie, it was good. It was. I mean, it was good acting. It was decent acting through all the people.
Oh yeah,
I thought it was
acting.
pretty neat how you see like there's one scene where one guy was like he's going to sacrifice himself so everyone get away, but then like the monster's like nope, So it's kind of neat to see something like not your typical like oh I'm going to sacrifice myself and the monster and that doesn't happen. So.
Right.
It's kind of neat to see stuff like that, and it's kind of neat to think, oh, this guy's got to be one of the main guys. He's going, oh no, I guess he's not going to live. So I mean, it's neat to see things that no one was really kind of sacred in
I'm
way
so
or
surprised
whatever.
Samuel L. Jackson made it to the end.
Well, he kind of played the Captain Ahab role, so
he did. He was like he played what he normally plays in movies.
A crazy person,
crazy asshole kind of guy. You know what I mean? He's like really this gruff, push forward kind of guy. You know.
Well, I think in the movie it gave reference where he had maybe a little bit of postpartum or something, or not
postpartum. He's pregnant.
Yeah, no.
That's all right. I went blank.
Post-traumatic stress PTSD.
I
So
went blank at the start of this podcast. You can think about pregnancy at the end.
yeah, there you go.
Just as long as you don't think about impregnating me.
Yeah, there you go.
Because that don't work that way.
Well, you're the one trying to grab my ass earlier, so
Well,
I'm
you got
just
a
saying.
nice looking butt, man.
I'm just saying.
I'm just saying. I'm not shy. You got good
But
butt.
yeah, I think Samuel Jackson suffered a little bit from PTSD. So I think being in the wars, he was a colonel, so he'd been around it for a while, and then getting out of the Vietnam War when basically they was there for nothing and they got their asses handed to them. So yeah, you saw where Samuel Jackson kind of affected him, and he just wanted to just kill something big.
Yeah.
Didn't quite work out for him.
Yeah, it didn't work out for him. But I say that's all we got as far as our reviews. IMDb gave this a 6.9 out of 10, and I think it was generous. And Chris thinks it.
I would say I would give it a good solid. I would give it probably a good 6.5 to 7. I think it's a decent movie to watch. I think it's good if you want to watch the rest of them to set it up. That gives you a good idea. There is some post-credit scenes. Make sure you stay through it. However, on Wonder Woman, there is no post-credit scene, so you don't have to worry about sitting through that.
Yeah, I sat through it. Well, whatever. But
I didn't, because Mike warned me. Ha ha!
Yeah. I was gonna say I did. I sat through them, but whatever. It is what it is. But that's all we got. Check out our Facebook Live video we posted explaining our T-shirts and our hats.
Yep.
There is still a way to win a hat.
Yep.
But I'm not going to go into details because we've already gone into details. So listen to our podcast and figure it out.
Yep.
Check us out on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Tumblr, Google Plus,
Stitcher, iTunes, iHeartRadio, and our website, mikeandchrisreloaded.libsyn. That's LIBSYN.com.
That's a lot to say.
And
That's it.
That's it.
That's it. So you guys have a good one.
See ya.